and welcome to this episode of Discover Indy Parks. We are here today at Garfield Park at the lovely Conservatory. I'll tell you, we're taping on a cold and rainy day, but it's always warm and sunny here at the Conservatory. And we're here with Elizabeth, who's going to tell us a little bit more about what we do here. Tell us about, what your role is at the Conservatory and what all happens here.
Sure, yeah. I'm the assistant manager of the conservatory here, and we have about 10,000 square feet of tropical plantings and waterfalls, as you can see. So we have a place for people to visit year-round.
Awesome. So talk about the plants, and these aren't things I can grow in my yard, are they?
Sure, no, probably not. Yeah, these are tropical plants, so they're plants that would normally grow in a much warmer climate than we have here in Indiana, especially today. So these plants are all grown here in our nice greenhouse so that people can come and see something a little bit different than what they would normally see.
What are your favorite plants? Talk about a few. We've got a beautiful showy flower behind us. There's lots going on in here.
Sure, we have lots of wonderful flowers, but one of our crowd favorite and one of my favorite is our chocolate tree. We all, or at least I, like chocolate, and the chocolate tree is the tree that gives humans the ingredients to make the main ingredient, the cocoa beans, to make the chocolate from the tree there. So that's really cool to show people and to show kids to see where stuff they like to eat come from.
And I've seen, I think, bananas in here, and have I seen papaya? I've seen other fruits in here.
Yeah, we have bananas, papaya, pineapple, mango, star fruit is the cool one. We also have a coffee tree that's really neat as well.
Awesome. So there's lots of great programming that happens here as well. It's not just a place to come and look at pretty plants, although that's an amazing thing to do. And again, on a cold day, this is a great place to come hang out. But talk about some programs, special events. There's just a ton, I know.
Sure. One thing that our tropical environment really lends us to is to be able to do a lot of field trips. So we have schools that can come in here year-round and get rainforest education, plant education. We can do programs about bugs and about different animals. So that's really fun. And we also have a lot of things open to the public. In the springtime, we have our spring bulb show. And then we also have our gnome away from home display that always coordinates with spring break, which is really fun.
Talk more about the gnome show. Where do the gnomes come from? What are they? How do they play into this?
Sure. During our gnome show, we usually have about 200 or more gnomes on display throughout the conservatory. About half of the gnomes are gnomes that we have here in storage most of the year, and they come out to play. And then about half of them are gnomes that people from the community bring here to spend a little vacation with us, and they can become part of the display, and it's really fun. We have a scavenger hunt that goes along with it, and we have a different theme every year that we set up around that theme. This year's theme is Gnomes on the Big Screen.
That's very cool. And bulbs, about how many bulbs will you have on display at the bulb show?
Lots and lots of bulbs. Hundreds and hundreds of bulbs will be on display in the bulb show. All different colors. We have many varieties of tulips, daffodils, some cool daffodils, and then we have some hyacinths as well to bring not only the awesome color, but the awesome smells.
Oh, very cool, very cool. And do you guys do, education for folks who maybe want to learn more about growing things? Do you sell plants? Talk about sort of other ways people can really maybe get their hands dirty.
Yes, we do a variety of those things. We have plants for sale in our plant shop up near the front desk. And then we do have all kinds of horticulture education programs throughout the year. We do programs on succulents and on gardening and house plants and all kinds of things. So just keep an eye out, and there's always something new.
Awesome. Does it cost? I believe there's a charge to come in here. So talk a little bit about how folks can get here. What are the hours? How do they find out more information? All that stuff.
Sure. So we're just on the south side of the city. If people don't know where we are, we're kind of tucked in here just south of downtown. And our admission is generally $2. It can be $4 when we have a special event, but we try to keep it affordable. And we are open 7 days a week, and we are open year-round except on holidays. So a lot of times we get people that ask if we're open in the winter or if we're open on Sundays, and we're open for people to come and see.
And what hours are you open generally?
10 to 5 Monday through Saturday, 1 to 5 on Sundays.
Awesome. That's wonderful. And where do folks go if they want to know more about what programs are going on, website, social media? How can they find out more?
Yeah, we have a Facebook page, Garfield Park Conservatory. We Twitter, Instagram, and then the Indy Parks webpage as well can help you out.
Awesome. So that's indyparks.org, and folks can learn more there as well. Talk a little bit about the history of this place. I know, Garfield is the oldest park in the city, right? And so I'm guessing the conservatory is pretty old as well. Tell us a little bit about where it came from.
Sure. So the conservatory and the sunken garden were both part of the Kessler plan when he was planning the park system. And they were created in 1915 and 1916 is when they were originally built. And then the conservatory that we see today, it was built in the 1950s. They rebuilt it with the aluminum Art Deco structure that we have today. That was actually state of the art at the time. It was the first aluminum and glass building or greenhouse in the country at the time.
Nice. And, I think it's worth mentioning, while maybe the flowers aren't in bloom outside this time of year that we're taping, but what's going on outside here?
Sure. So the sunken gardens are right next to the conservatory, the outdoor formal gardens that were also part of George Kessler's plan. Right now there are about 12,000 tulips planted in the ground out there, and they're just starting to peak up. So usually around mid-April, give or take on when Mother Nature decides, is when you see the tulips blooming out there. And then mid-May, we will start planting the summer display that will go all throughout the summer, and the fountains will be on, and it's a really nice place for people to come and enjoy during the warmer months.
Awesome. I also know, we have some special guests or special tenants that live here in the park, right? And they had some adventures last year. They even got a little media when they escaped, were kidnapped. We're not sure. But talk about the tortoises and who they are and...
Sure, we have a couple of tortoises that live here along with some of our other education animals, and they come out frequently to visit school groups and other programs when we talk about them. They allow us to not only talk about some of the cool rainforest plants that we have, we can kind of connect them to some of the animals that would live in the rainforest as well and let people see animals that they wouldn't normally see and kind of get to connect with them.
Excellent. I think it's important to note, too, that the conservatory, of course, is a part of a much larger park. So what else can people do down here at Garfield?
Sure, we are just one part of Garfield Park. Garfield Park also has an art center, which is a newer facility that displays art and then also has art classes and all kinds of cool special events. Then we also have an outdoor amphitheater called the McAllister Center, and that's a space where people can come and enjoy outdoor concerts and plays in the summertime. They have a really cool list of events every season. And then there's also your typical family center where you would find basketball and a gym and swimming and your typical park events there as well.
So do you take volunteers down here at the conservatory, and how can they get involved?
Sure, they can give us a call if they'd like to volunteer. We really couldn't do what we do without our hardworking volunteers. They help us out on a weekly basis. 317-327-7183 is our phone number, and we can get them some information.
As hard as it is to think, I know there are people seeing this that have never been to the conservatory before. What would you tell someone to encourage them to come here for the first time?
Sure, I don't think people realize what a cool place is that is so close to home. It's free to come into the park. We have free parking, and it's really easy to access and cool to see. So close, right in the middle of the city, a little tropical vacation.
Awesome. So the team does such a great job here. It's a beautiful place to spend time. It's a great place to experience some really cool programs. Hope folks will come down to Garfield Park, check out the entire park, but especially the conservatory and the gardens. And remember, every day is a great day in a park.